Question I get the most often is, why is there a wolf on a woodpecker coat? My name is Will Poho and I'm a coat maker. Woodpecker is actually my second brand. This is my first brand. This was the first prototype of a moose knuckles coat ever. This is what the logo was. It was a piece of leather and it was just kind of sewed on the sleeve. There was no cartoon, it was a cheap zipper, but I chose to go with white fur to compete with Canada Goose, who had brown fur. Moose knuckles was always intended to be the bad boy of the outdoor business. All right, this is the first coat that came out of production. I've added the logo. The logo is two hockey fighters, a Canadian fighting an American, and I put in better zipper, and I sewed the leather logo on. Now, I was having a hard time selling the brand because of the name, or so I was told because of the name. So I was convinced by some sales reps and by some stores to change Moose Knuckles to Moose Canuck. So this is a version of a Moose Knuckles jacket that's called Moose Canuck. However, eventually, people started coming in and asking for Moose Knuckles, and they didn't want the Moose Canuck, they only wanted a Moose Knuckles. So I switched it back to Moose Knuckles, as it remains today. Fast forward to 2014, I think. I made a special edition Moose Knuckles, and I call it a Tabernacle, and I put a wolf on it as the decoration, because I replaced one of the heads with a wolf head. This jacket sold like crazy, it was great. I eventually exited from Moose Knuckles, and started a new coat company, which is Woodpecker. Because everybody liked the wolf on the special edition, I just carried on using the wolf with the Woodpecker brand. So there you have it. That's why there's a wolf on a Woodpecker coat.